been unbelievably lucky in love. It's funny because if somebody had told me this 3 years ago, I would have laughed out loud and told them many stories about how I got my heart broken. Now, while it is true that I had spent so many sleepless nights wishing that I was somebody else whose face was not covered in tears and whose heart was still intact, it was those tearful conversations and mournful nostalgia that shaped me into the person that I am today. So yeah, I am incredibly lucky to have had those experiences that taught me so much about love and about myself. And now I'm sitting here with a gift of time and hindsight. I would like to share with you some of the lessons that I learned the hard way and hopefully help some of you to navigate the complex world of human emotions and relationships. I was single for 5 years before I met my husband, and during that time, I was constantly rejected left and right. Now, looking back, I can see why I had such a low self-esteem, and it's not because I was rejected, but it's because I took rejection personally. See, what I didn't know at the time is that rejection has nothing to do with my worth and my desirability. Oftentimes, it's simply a case of needs not matching up. Our brains have the tendency to dig deeper to look for further meanings in stories because it can be difficult for us to accept that the truth can be that simple. This can lead to us feeling inadequate and unworthy, which is so far away from the truth. Dita Von Teese said it best. You can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world and there's still going to be somebody who hates peaches. Of course, it doesn't feel good when something doesn't go the way that we wanted it to be, but that is life. Rejection is part of life. It's something that everyone is gonna face at some point in their life. So what's more important is to acknowledge our feelings and to keep reminding ourselves that we are entirely worthy of love. I always choose to approach relationships with an open mind and an open heart. When someone does something that causes disturbance inside me, I try not to jump into conclusion that they're bad, but instead give them the benefit of the doubt and a chance to prove otherwise. As good as an approach as that sounds, my mistake is that I didn't have the balance between following my heart and listening to my head. I was all heart and no head. What I mean is that I wanted so much to have somebody to love that I let my emotions cloud my judgment. I was being blind and naive instead of kind and understanding like I thought I was. I blamed myself. I kept telling myself that all of the hurting and the lying and the hiding were probably justified somehow. Things must be tough for him right now. He probably didn't mean to hurt me. It was my fault. What I didn't realize at the time is that people who love you don't treat you badly. When we truly love and care about someone, we want to be our best and make them feel safe and happy, not the other way around. Healthy relationships are the ones that help us grow and move forward. They're not supposed to threaten our peace of mind and self-respect. Okay, this part may sound a little bit cold-hearted and ruthless, but if something no longer serves you and makes you happy, just walk away. I know that when a relationship or a person has become a place of familiarity and comfort, it can be really hard to walk away even though it's obvious that it's time. Walking away is often seen as giving up, as a sign of weakness. But the truth is that it requires tremendous amount of clarity and courage in order to realize that something is no longer aligned with yourself. Life is about growing and moving forward. And if there's something holding you back from being the person that you want to be or living the life that you deserve to live in, just walk out that door and don't look back. Part of the reason why I was so miserable is because I wanted to have somebody to love so much that I forgot to love myself. And when you don't love yourself, how can you love others? The person that we see in the mirror is the only person that will be here forever. So loving ourselves should be the foundation of love in general. I've always told my friend that the best candidate for a relationship is someone who's comfortable sitting with their own thoughts, who can have fun even when they're by themselves, and who enjoys their own company. And that's because oftentimes when we enter relationships, we tend to expect other people to fill our holes and make us feel fulfilled. And when they cannot do as expected, we tend to assume that they're not invested as they should be. That is a false expectation. Nobody is and should be responsible for how we feel. Being in a relationship doesn't make us feel whole if there's a void inside that we cannot fill. We have to accept that we are responsible for our own emotional state. And not to mention that by asking someone else to do the work for us, we are putting more weight on top of all the things that they need to do for their own life. This does not mean that we have to be perfect in order to be in a relationship. It simply means that only when we accept and love ourselves will we be able to extend some of that acceptance and compassion towards others, and love will follow. Okay, this is embarrassing to admit, but I cannot count how many nights I spent crying into the pillow so that no one would hear me, how much time I wasted trying to distinguish between truths and fiction. And I thought that was normal. I thought that it was not real love unless pain is involved, that my insides were supposed to be twisting and pulling because what we had was the real deal. Well, let me tell you, I was wrong. If there's only one thing that I learned from all those years is that jealousy hurts, anger hurts, resentment hurts, the need to be in control hurts. Love? It doesn't hurt. Love can only heal. So the conclusion is that once we switch our perception of love from being painful to being beautiful, can we start to nurture a sense of acceptance, joy, and growth? And that is when we stop settling for less and aim for the best. Amongst all of the unknown and uncertainty that I was dealing with back then, my friends were the sounding board and the sensible voice that helped me process my intense emotions and keep my sanity intact. I don't know how I could have dealt with drama and recovered from injuries without them. In fact, thanks to the strong support system that I built around me, I was able to bounce back, keep my head high, and my heart still full. So that is exactly what I think everyone should do. When things get tough, a strong support system will act as a lighthouse shining the way, and when things are going well, it keeps us going strong. Fire tests gold, adversity tests the brave. Heartbreaks were fire to my gold. Each time I was able to come back stronger and more hopeful. And now I'm doing better than I ever did. So, if you are struggling and hurting, let this be a sign to stand strong and keep your head high. Work on yourself, embody what you want to attract, and the rest will follow. If this video gives you some value, please hit that like and subscribe button. That would really help my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!